Doncic with 31 on Saturday. Clippers 11 for 4. Dallas really shot it much better from three-point range. All right, so let's check out what happened on Tuesday. First quarter, Mavs up 4. Doncic tries past Paul George, throws it down on Marcus Morris. All 9 of his first quarter points came when Paul George was his primary defender, and not a good sign for the Clippers when Doncic is going off like that on George. Later in the first quarter, Kawhi Leonard for 3. And then Leonard, floater and the foul. Leonard, 18 points in the first quarter, playoff career high for any quarter. The Mavericks up 35-33 after 1. Midway through the second quarter, Clippers trailing 53-51. Paul George crossing up Kristaps Porzingis. That got everybody going on social media. Got Patrick Patterson going, just, oh my God. The Clippers bench couldn't believe it. A little In-N-Out burger for Porzingis for Paul George. George was 17 points at halftime. All right, under 2:30 to go in the second quarter. Mavs by 2. Doncic for 3. And the Mavs up by 5. 37 seconds left in the first half, tied at 68. Leonard with the answer. Finishes with 30 first-half points. First Clippers player with 30 points in a playoff half over the last 25 postseasons. But ensuing possession for the Mavericks, Tim Hardaway Jr. for 3. Clippers up 73-71. Very high-scoring first half. Third time in NBA postseason history. Both teams reached 70 points by halftime. Let's go third quarter. Mavericks by 4. Doncic gets Leonard to go under the screen. That creates room for the 3. The Mavericks up by 7. Dallas doing it from three-point range, big in this game once again. Then Doncic backing down Leonard, fading away, knocking it down. That's a great on-the-ball defender, but Doncic able to shoot over him. Under 40 seconds to go. Doncic looking for the 2-for-1. Off balance, but on target with a three-pointer. The Mavericks bench can't believe it. Doncic putting on a show. 35 points through 3 quarters. Mavericks up 101-92 through the third quarter. Now, last game, Doncic pretty quiet in the fourth. So we go into the fourth. Morris knocking down the 3. Clippers back within 5. Doncic, aggressive, lays it in over Patrick Beverley. Mavericks looking to pull away. 2 minutes to go. Mavs up 7. Porzingis, defensive breakdown for the Clippers, and he winds up with a dunk. Later, just over a minute left, the Mavericks up 4. Hardaway, long-range 3. Knocks it down to put Dallas up 7 with under a minute left. And the Mavericks hold on to win it by 6, 127-121. So Luka Doncic averages the 6th most points per game through 8 playoff games by any player in NBA history. The only guys in front of him are Hall of Famers and LeBron James. All right, so Vince, the Clippers have a serious problem here, and his name is Luka Doncic, and they don't seem to have an answer. They got 2 great defenders in Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, but it doesn't seem to matter right now.
They have great defenders. They have very good defenders, and he's seen them all and scored on them all. And right now, what is helping them is the other players. Hardaway Jr. shooting threes. Porzingis. I mean, his supporting cast is making the game easier for him because you can't double when they are hitting shots as well. So you have to make a decision. Are you just going to double them and let other guys have big games, or are you just going to let everyone have a big game? And when you do that, you cannot beat the Dallas Mavericks.
Meanwhile, for the Clippers, I mean, Kawhi Leonard was fantastic in this game, but just some of the other guys around Leonard and Paul George, what do they have to do?
They need some scoring. I mean, of course, you get a big game from Paul George and a big game from Kawhi, but who else? Somebody's going to have to step up and give you something, and then that's when they have a chance. But right now, they did not take care of home. Now you're going to Dallas, up down to 0-2. You're going to need somebody to step up other than your big stars.
Down 2 at home.
Yes.
Tough to come back from that. I mean, do you see a path for the Clippers?
Of winning?
Yeah, winning the series now.
It's tough now. It's tough. When you can't win at home, I mean, you obviously you want some roadkill. That's always what you talk about. Just get one. They just have. I mean, game 3 is important to them.
And now Saturday, this brother comes out, drops another 30-31 with a triple-double, and now finally we hearing Well, Kawhi Leonard may spend some time guarding him. Well, duh. Where the hell you been? The fact is that he's the dude that came to L.A. to take over. He's the dude that said the Crown with the New Balance commercial and the convertible is the new sheriff in town, okay? That's him. Clippers didn't show up. Forget all of that. That happens. All right, fine. We look at Paul George and Kawhi Leonard as stars in this league, and Kawhi Leonard is a superstar in this league, not just because of what they do offensively, because they play on both ends of the floor. Paul George can lock you down. We've seen him do it. All right, Kawhi Leonard can lock you down. We damn sure have seen him do it. But against Luka Doncic, the brother giving it to them. And we all know what Dallas is without him. Why would you not prioritize stopping that brother? I'm sorry. The Dallas Mavericks, if the Clippers don't win game 2, Clippers losing this series.
Look,
I believe they're going to win game 2, but they better.
If the question is who's going to look worse losing their first-round series, then I'm with you. You got two-way wings, LeBron and Wade, Jordan and Pippen. You get paid to show up now. I'm not even going to debate that. But who can least afford to go down 0-2 is actually the Lakers. They can least afford. Like, Clippers lose home court to a team that gave them problems in the playoffs last year. Lakers already didn't have home court and lost game 1. And that was with a compromised Chris Paul. Compromised Chris Paul. No, the Lakers are playing in the Suns a better team. And I thought Dallas was going to be better than they were this year. There was, COVID issues and Porzingis injuries as always. The Suns, I thought, were also going to be very good. And if anything, they're even a little better than I thought they'd be. The big question mark on that team was, ironically, their number 1 overall pick. The DeAndre Ayton, who's already pretty good. But that was like, but how's he going to deal with Anthony Davis? Pretty good game 1. I mean, at least game 1. Forget about how AD will respond. Like, right now, Ayton looks real. And that's on a team with a backcourt like Chris Paul and Devin Booker, and they already have home court, and now they won game 1? No, the Suns should have never been a 3-1 underdog in this series. 7-5, 8-5, something like that. Not even 2-1. And now they won game 1? Clippers will look worse if they lose to the Mavs, but the Lakers can less afford to go down 0-2 to a higher-seeded team and a better opponent than the Clippers are facing.
You know what? You know what's crazy, Max, is that I'm down here in Austin, Texas, right? And I was down here for an AAU tournament coaching my son. And while I was at the gym, a lot of people came up to me and they said, hey, man, why do you pick on Max so much? And give Max a break? And then you come on here talking like this, and I can't help myself. Because for the simple fact is that you, of all people, know that the Clippers cannot afford to go down 2 to the Dallas Mavericks, because you have been on record saying last year if Porzingis didn't get hurt, what did you say would have happened, Mac?
Dallas would have beaten them, obviously.
Oh, okay, cool. So with Porzingis and now Luka has the confidence that he has against the Clippers. By the way, everybody's showing the monster highlight dunk that Kawhi did over Kleber and all that, and I get it, right? But nobody saw how Luka put Patrick Beverly in the dungeon and talked noise and said he's too small, too bleeping small. Luka has the confidence against the Clippers. By the way, the Clippers, they lost 2 games to get the Mavericks. You don't think to get the Mavericks. You don't think the Dallas Mavericks have a chip on their shoulder going in there and saying, hey, this is what y'all wanted. We about to give y'all everything and more. The role players are not scared of them. Porzingis is not scared of them. Right now, the Clippers cannot afford to go down 0-2. When you look at the Los Angeles Lakers, this is the same story from last year. They went down to Portland. They was down game 1. We criticized Anthony Davis. What did he do the rest of the series? He came out and dominated in great fashion. We watched the Lakers do it in the second round against the Rockets when he was going against P.J. Tucker, and everybody was saying, how is P.J. Tucker at 6'5", 6'6", handling AD? He got to dominate the paint. The rest was history in that series. So, look, I'm not worried about LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers against the Suns, especially with a not healthy Chris Paul. I am worried, and everyone should be worried about the Los Angeles Clippers against this Dallas Mavericks team?
First of all, Perk, first of all, the Dallas Mavericks team that was unfortunate, had bad luck not getting by the Clippers last year was because of a Porzingis injury. But before that, Porzingis had been coming on. This Porzingis is not that Porzingis. That Porzingis was a better version and made the difference. Luka Doncic is always confident. What do you think? He's going to go into a series not confident? He's always confident. He's always a killer. But he doesn't have the same help from Porzingis, at least going into the series, that he had last year. And meantime, what you're not, yes, Chris Paul is compromised, but you, as much as anyone, have been banging the drum about the effect he'll have on DeAndre Ayton. Looks good so far. And when you add that to the fact that the Suns, look at that Suns team, are clicking now, with Devin Booker playing the way he's playing now, with the role players all very effective in their roles. No. This is not the same situation as last year for the Mavericks, and you're sleeping on the Suns.
Max, and you real quick, Stephen A., and you're sleeping on the Dallas Mavericks role players because Bronson is an underrated guy that comes in and give you work. Kleber could play the game of basketball.
Kleber?
And by the way, the last couple weeks or the last month of the regular season, Tim Hardaway Jr. was averaging around 20 points a game. He had a monster game against the Clippers. No one is afraid of them. You remember Stephen A., everybody was talking about the Rough Riders last season and how they just be bullying people. Nobody's scared of that. Nobody believes that no more, Max. This is why I'm saying the Clippers cannot